Hi and welcome to a new talk where we are talking about following your soul. So today I'm going to talk about how we can open up a more positive flow and more optimistic mindset so that we can also invite more into our lives. And I know that I have got these kind of requests many times actually. People do want to hear a little bit more about how I perceive things and how I changed my perspective to things and how I see things in a little bit more uplifting way. Many times when I have different type of local workshops and so forth, the number one thing that I get back is just about how the way that I chose to actually see a certain type of situation differently from maybe how they saw it, and that felt very uplifting, that felt very inspiring, and it felt like it was lighting them up, it was helping them in many ways. So due to that, I do also want to begin to talk a little bit more about these kind of perspective shifts because I know they have helped me, so I do believe that they will help you too. And today I'm actually going to bring up an example that happened the other day, which is like a perfect example for how we can change our attitude, change our perspective to things in order for us to have more things flow into our lives. I was in the mall the other day. We were going to Namaste Festival in Stockholm, and we were strolling by some shops on the way, and we were in a shopping mall. So I felt that I needed to go to the bathroom, so I did. And I went down to the bathroom. I paid attention to there was a little bit line, and I was looking at the others like, what are they doing? Okay, they bring in their carts, because usually, at least what I know, we don't need to always pay in shopping malls for the bathroom. So it's like, oh, okay, well, it's payment here. Okay, I'm just gonna prepare myself and be ready with a card. Nothing else like that. I went into the bathroom, had my moment, was happy and it felt like relief, right? And then I washed my hands, and I remember I was like, wow, these paper towels, they are so soft. Walking up the stairs, I meet a teenager with her mom. And this teenager screams out like, oh no, it's payment. And her mom is just like, oh, but that doesn't do anything. It's okay, then we just have to pay. And the teenager goes like, but it's such a line. And I was like, wow, this is such a great moment. First and foremost, do you see the difference of the realities that me and that girl experienced? I was happy, I had a good time, I was taking my time, taking my space, was happy that there is a bathroom in that shopping mall, and I with ease got into it, right? Whereas this girl, probably, and no shame or blame on her, this is actually quite common that we do this, right? But this is just to give you this kind of perspective of that girl experienced that opportunity, actually, according to me, to see life from another type of perspective. She experienced this in a quite negative way. And this happens many times when we've been exposed and exposing ourselves for negativity for a long while. Then we begin to kind of lose the perception and the seeing of when we, in these small little moments of life, actually make life a problem. We're making and we're creating problems that isn't a problem from the beginning. First and foremost, if she would be with her girlies or something like that at the shopping mall, I doubt that she still would have the problem of going to the bathroom, because if you're in the mall, usually, and if you go around and shopping, usually you have a couple extra kroners to spare, right, to go to the bathroom. That is not the case for all, but for many who's in a shopping mall, that's the case. Secondly, in this scenario, actually her mom was just like, but it's okay, we will just have to pay then. She was just like meeting her daughter and just like, no, you don't need to worry, I take care of that. You are provided, I take care of that. But the daughter is not happy with that. So her mind needs to create a new problem. Okay, that wasn't a problem. Okay, let's create a new problem. It's such a queue. It's such a long queue. I will still continue to see this from a negative perspective. I will still continue to see this in a not uplifting way. That is actually what happens in our mind. So this example is maybe seem very little, right? But I want you to really look into your own life if you have these different type of objections to life. And I made a video for a while ago talking about different type of excuses that we have. You can go and rewatch it or watch it again if you want to, where we're talking about the ownership vibe. This is essential for us to begin to see life from a solution perspective instead of seeing it from a problem state of mind and creating more problems than we actually have. And this becomes quite fun when I begin to, pay attention to and make notice of how many problems I actually create out of this different type of needs or desires or whatever that actually wasn't a problem from the beginning. So I want you to really look into your situation and give yourself some space to maybe go back your week or something. Go back and see what happened for your week. And if there is something where you perceived it as something negative, you perceived it as something like, oh, it's extra work or it's hard work or it doesn't go in this way, something like that, and really reflect on, did I actually just make that a problem even though it didn't need to be a problem, right? Because when we begin to start this kind of awareness loop, we can begin to start to see things from a more positive perspective, as in my reality, right? I haven't always been passing down the stairs, seeing a queue and needing to pay to always be like, oh, this is great. Oh, soft paper towels. No, I also been exposed to a lot of negativity, and I've been exposing myself to a lot of negativity. So I've been needing to change those shifts. I've been needing to be very active in those shifts. And the more active I get in actually changing and shifting, the more lighter I feel from within, the more purpose I feel from within, and the more resonant and authentic I actually feel with me. Okay, because I really truly believe that we don't want to create these problems. We don't want to feel in the way that we do, but many times we can create these problems. Look at it yourself. Let's say if you are on lunch hours and you're going out with your colleagues or something, and you're just like, wow, we're just gonna have a very good time. And then you see the queue and you're just like, oh, it's queue. Oh no. And you start to notice that instead. Instead of notice that, okay, it's a little bit line. Hey, you know what? That's great because I actually wanted to talk with you about something. So now we have extra space to talk about that. Right. So whatever it is, we can always see it from another type of perspective, and we don't need to create the problems. So this is really good practice to have. Like, do I create these problems for myself? If something appears to me, do I see it as a problem? Do I see it as, okay, now it is some certain type of problem, I see some certain type of obstacle? Or is there a way around where I actually can see this as something working for me? I see this as something that, okay, I can actually bring a solution into this. Okay, it feels a little bit like unease or not really aligned or whatever. Okay, what is it? It's also good to tune in, right? We're tuning in and just like, where am I not energetically aligned here, right? And then either make okay with that, right? Let's say we take this example with this girl. Let's say that you were that girl. So if you would be like, oh, I need to pay, ask yourself like, why am I so resistant to that? Why do I feel that I have to pay? And work with yourself a little bit, like tune in with yourself a little bit, like, where am I actually not energetically aligned to this situation? And can I do something so I can stand behind it? Or am I not okay with that and we'll have to leave them, for instance, right? But not being mad about it or anything like that, just saying like, okay, I'm not aligned with this, I go somewhere else, right? Or looking into like, oh, it's actually just I don't even know, right? Or no, I'm feeling a certain type of scarcity here or lack, or I'm just used to, complaining, right? Just like being honest with yourself and just like, no, okay, so I want to see it from another perspective today. We are actually very used to complaining, even though we don't see that way. And this is once again because we have been maybe this learned behavior of criticizing things and seeing things as problems. But sometimes I can really relate with this, that things have been a little bit hard, things have been a little bit tough. So we have created this kind of story of that things are not easy and things are tough. And due to that, our mind can't really perceive when things are coming easy to us. So that's why it creates problems, because it's used to see problems, it's used to focus on problems and notice problems, so it creates problems out of nothing. Okay, so we can have a lot of different examples in regards to this, but I just wanted to spark this kind of conversation with you today. So look through your own situation. I hope that this was helpful. I am hosting, if you're watching this right now, I'm hosting a free masterclass, Become a Master, Master Your Everyday Fulfillment is called. And this is going to be the 11th of September. So you can find all the information in the description. You're so welcome to join. I'm looking so much forward towards it, and we will talk a lot about how we can feel fulfilled and satisfied on a day-to-day basis, so that we can also attract our ideal life and ideal and dream self and all the goodness in our lives. So if you are interested in that, welcome to join. And yeah, take good care of yourself now. Keep on listening to Within Talks. Bye.